Yeah, Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Director Adams,
Here.
Director Guy,
Here.
Director Clayton,
Here.
Director Brown.
Here. Okay, our first agenda item is minutes of regular meeting held March 13th, 2025.
I've looked at the minute, I will make a motion to accept them as written.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And we'll move on to committee reports.
I do not know what committees met.
Okay,
That's a report.
Report.
that is a report. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Bert.
Mhm. Welcome.
We'll move on to our acting general manager's report.
Your acting general manager has nothing to report.
Maybe we should tell them that both, that Martin is at a meeting up in Monterey, that's why he's not here.
Then we'll move on to manager finance administration.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I've provided the demand list for your review and approval.
I had one question.
Yes.
73564, Pacific Builders.
Yes, that is the retention for a hangar roof that was completed more than a year ago, and the architect on that project was non-compliant and didn't provide us with the information until recently, so we paid it.
Yeah.
He dropped the ball.
How much was that? It's 15.
15,980.
Yeah, so that we retained that, but there was a notice of completion and everything was filed, so we, paid it.
I'll make the motion to accept it.
And I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item B and item C are informational only. If you have questions, I can answer them now, or I can answer them in more detail if you want to stop by my office.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to agenda item 5, public session, where statements from the floor will be heard during public session and press to speak forms provided for those wishing to address the board. After completing the form, please give it to the clerk. Requests for any board action will be referred to staff and brought on the next appropriate agenda. Agenda items are available for review in the office of general manager on Tuesday prior to each meeting. The board will establish a time limit for receive testimony. That's 3 minutes, and the board reserves the right to establish further time limits for receipt of testimony. And I
I
think,
think you got something that's writing.
okay. Well, that's okay, but you're just in time.
You just need your name.
You'll get to go. No, is it Douglas Ricky or Ricky Douglas?
Either way. Ricky's the last name.
Okay. All right, you have the podium, sir.
Well, I was just gonna watch. It's been a very nice meeting so far. I wanted to introduce myself because I want to volunteer. And in particular, I want to work with the 380 acres that's been, what do you call that, the wildlife preserve? I don't know.
Park
what that's
conservation
been.
area.
Because I'm very interested in natural history. And I'm retired military. I was in public affairs, armed forces, radio and television service. This is my California home. And I'm very interested in that everybody learns what's out there. Because I think humans are part of natural history as well. So I want to see that place. I want to know what's there. And I'd be glad to volunteer my time. And I just wanted to introduce myself. And I was planning on knowing more about it before I said anything.
Retired from where?
the Air Force. And I was born into a military family, so, you know, was born in a military hospital in Riverside, California. Woo! And then I had so much fun as a young teenager growing up before my father retired that I knew I was gonna do that. And then I stayed in. And I'm still living and I'm still adventuring. And I'd be glad to spend some time serving the community, especially in any way I can, with particularly the airport.
Thank you. Move on to agenda item 6, authorization for the general manager to execute change order number 2 for the U.S. Customs upgrade building site and civil between the district and Newton Construction and Management, Inc.
Mr. Vice President, council recommends that we table this item. We just go back and discuss this further with these contractors. We'll bring it back at the next meeting.
Perfect, let's table that. Thank you. Agenda item 7, authorization for the general manager to attend the California Airports Council quarterly meeting to be held April 24th, 25th in Sacramento, California.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. This is there's a memo about this, with the budget, for travel. And normally we don't bring these to the board, but then they aren't included in the travel budget. So we, wanted to be transparent and bring this to the director's attention. It's a relatively inexpensive travel. I be happy to answer any questions you might have about it.
And what are we trying to do out there?
It is, CAC advocates on behalf of commercial service airports in the state of California, creating a unified voice, for, state and federal leaders, and, they provide, they collaboratively with the other California airports, they share resources and information. So basically, it's the general managers of air service airports get together and they all share information about things that are happening in the industry.
We're keeping our name out there.
Yes.
I would agree to, I'd make the motion that we send a general manager there.
I have one last question before we do the discussion. Have we attended it before? Is this?
Yeah,
first?
and the other general manager attending also.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Yes.
So I'll second it.
Okay, have a first and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And we'll go on to agenda item 8, authorization for one staff member to attend Takeoff North America to be held November 4th through 6th in Tallahassee, Florida.
Yes, we put this item on so that we could get the early bird registration. So the early bird registration will be in this year's budget, but the rest of the expenses will occur in next year's budget. So that's all we're giving you right now is the registration.
Who would normally attend? That
Carrie.
Beautiful.
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept that.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, agenda item 9 is authorization for the President Secretary to execute the third amendment of service agreement between the district and RRM Design Group for the Airport Business Park Specific Plan.
So because there's the option to sell the property, we had to make an adjustment to our parcel map, and these are the additional expenses that are going to occur.
I'd say well worth it when you see what we're getting rid of, right? We're making for sure.
Right.
And the real estate committee, you guys, are in favor of this?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I move that we authorize, let's see, execute the third amendment to the service agreement between the district and RRM.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Well, that concludes our open agenda, so we'll just move right into closed session. I mean, fishing.
Not to extend.
Okay.
Okay, so it's 7:55, we're out of closed session with no reportable action. Or 6:55.
Depending on where you live.
Come on, Montana time, what's up there? Come on.
That's right, that's right.
And we'll go to director of comments. Director Guy, let's start over here.
I have no comments, especially after closed session.
I have a big comment. Apparently, the Century Fire Department is moving into the facility.
What?
And we
It was in the newspaper.
was in the newspaper. We had just had discussions about this before, about negotiating a lease agreement to do this thing. I'm kind of at a quandary to know how this happened, where the board wasn't informed prior to this happening. I think that we need to set up a special meeting and have some discussion about this. And have a closed session meeting talking to go over Martin and how this happened to this point. That's my comment.
Okay. I will be those for,
What's that?
well, you and I will be on Monday,
We'll follow up with you on that. There you go.
Okay, because I think this is,
Is that a meeting I'm gonna be able to attend?
Well, no, so this is just director's comments, so we don't want to discuss this further, but we will bring it back to you when we, as you guys.
okay.
Director Clayton.
Well, that's a bombshell to me. I didn't know that. I didn't know that the, city is already planning on moving in next week to the, fire department. We've got nothing negotiated. There's nothing on paper. I don't understand the disconnect there. I don't know how that could happen without at least the board being part of whatever negotiation that may have taken place. And now it's in the newspaper. It's been, we got a disconnect somewhere. And I don't think that that was the way that the board is supposed to interact with the people that work for the board. I think the board is the one that makes the decisions on what goes down, and the people around them are the ones that support board members who are trying to put their heart and soul into making this airport functional. And when you get down the road and then somebody comes in and throws something in there that's wrong, and it's like, what, there's a disconnect going on. I second what, Director Brown just said, that we need to have a meeting, a closed special meeting right away, Monday would be great. And let's get to the bottom of where we really need to be going. That's my comment.
Everybody's covered everything, I'm no comment, so.
I make a motion to go home.
Do I have a second?
All right, thank you.
All those in favor?
All right,
Aye.
let's just